Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial. It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface.
Did you clock the thousands of planes? Like, call me an idiot, but wouldn't those thousands of planes, massive jets no less, cause even more unwelcome carbon emissions just on their own without putting aerosols into the air? If it's really about climate change, why aren't we talking about phasing out worldwide commercial aviation? By all studies, it's one of the largest planetary polluters, but I'm guessing that's not on the table as something to give up. Anyway, the brain flatulence behind solar geoengineering or solar radiation modification, SRM, is essentially to simulate what happens when volcanoes push particles into the atmosphere. A major eruption such as that of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1992 measurably cooled the global temperature for a year or two. Pinatubo injected about 15 million tonnes of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, where it reacted with water to form a hazy layer of aerosol particles composed mainly of sulfuric acid droplets. Over the course of the next 2 years, strong stratospheric winds spread those aerosol particles around the planet. So far, so natural disaster, which, okay. But the real possibility of a man-made disaster is now looming, with the British government having funded an organisation called ARIA, Advanced Research and Invention Agency.
All right, so what do we know about ARIA, the whack-job public body that wants to block British sunshine? Well, Michael E. Mann, who is the Presidential Distinguished Professor at the University of Pennsylvania, wrote in The Guardian last month, ARIA, with an initial budget of £800 million, arose from the fevered dreams of Dominic Cummings at the height of the Boris Johnson crony capitalism years. After a rocky start for the office, Cummings' legacy lives on in the current Labour government, which seems to have lost track of what ARIA is doing. ARIA, a wannabe clone of the US Defence Advanced Projects Agency, works in darkness. It's not subject to freedom of information requests. It gives a pot of money to each of its directors to direct expenditure largely as they wish, with only minimal peer review. The director in charge of the solar geoengineering project is Mark Symes, an electrochemist with no background in climate science. Very good. Well, that fills you with confidence, doesn't it?